This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good evening. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, audible.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I see a lot of participants still trying to join in, but I think I appreciate everyone's time to join on time. Let me also start sharing my screen, and one of you quickly please confirm if my screen share is visible.
Yes, your skin is visible.
Okay, great. Okay, so once again, I welcome all the participants to this demonstration class of API automation testing using Postman tool. And by the way, my name is Kiran, and I will be the trainer for this automation testing course. So I'll give a quick overview about my profile. So my name is Kiran, and I have close to 19 years of experience in the testing industry. And so I have been doing trainings from the last 15 years or so. And coming to the areas where I train, the corporates and the public batches like this. So I train on ISTQB Foundation. Then I train on automation testing of web-based applications using tools such as Catalan Studio. I train participants on backend APIs, such as the program I'm doing now, using tools such as Postman tool or SOAP UI tool or Ready API tool or Catalan Studio tool. I also train participants on performance testing using Jmeter, Gatling, and also on security testing using tools such as Z-Attack Proxy, Burp Suite tool. Then I train on DevOps such as Git, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Jenkins, then GitHub Desktop, SourceTree, and also an accessibility testing. So these are few of the areas where I train the corporates and also do public batches like this. And when it comes to the current program that I'm doing, right? One second. May I request everyone to please go on mute as there is some little noise coming in. So I request every participant, please go on mute. And if you have questions, you can obviously unmute at that point of time. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So when it comes to API automation testing using Postman tool, I have done close to 50 plus corporate training batches for different organizations in India and outside India. And with Isha Training Solutions, I have been doing these programs from the last 1 year, I would say. And we have completed close to maybe 5 to 6 batches or so, only in API automation. Apart from that, I also deal with other training programs for Isha as well. But we have decided, guys, please be on mute as it is kind of disturbing the rest of the participants. Please be on mute, everyone. Yeah, thanks. I have muted everyone now. Yeah. So we have decided to start a new API testing batch today. And the first 1 or 2 classes would be the demonstration classes where you will understand what exactly I would be teaching to you guys and what are the key takeaways of this course. And after setting up the expectation in the first 1 or 2 classes, the actual training starts. And as you can see on my screen, I'm showing the website where we have clearly mentioned the details about API automation testing. You can also probably just go through here about myself, which you'll come to know about the instructor. And we have given some sample demonstration videos of my previous batches. And regarding the course curriculum, right, I have it kept over here. So here you will figure out what is that you will learn by the end of this course, and what are the universal selling points of our training, and who all can learn this course. And later I have given detailed syllabus of the course, nothing but the table of content. So I have divided this entire course into multiple chapters. As you can see, I'm quickly scrolling down to show you how many chapters we have. So we have 13 chapters, and the duration of this course will be nearly 25 to 27 hours, which means almost 1 month will be the duration of this course, plus few more days. And we are doing this course in the evenings, Indian timings, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that's the standard time we have finalized for this particular course. And all the classes that I deliver right on a daily basis, they are getting recorded, and the participants who enroll in my course, they receive recorded videos immediately on the same day or probably on the next day. We put it on our YouTube account, and we will share it only to your email ID. So all the videos are marked private, and the videos access will be lifetime for you, so that you can always listen to the recorded session again and again whenever you need some reference material. And I will also take care of giving you the training material, which will be a very detailed documentation material. So I'll quickly show you how my material looks like. So here you see a folder called API testing Postman, and so this is the kind of material you will get. So here I will be writing all my training rough notes, and inside training material you get whatever I'm teaching you. You will see here you have a PPT which contains all the notes, and also a Word document has been prepared. So if you open this Word document, you will see detailed step by step and the diagrams which I have written, and the diagrams also I have drawn on paint and written it here. It's a 114 pages document which contains the detailed notes about whatever I'm teaching in this course. Okay. And also certain diagrams that we discussed during the training program are also made readily available, so that you can refer this during our training program. And whatever automation scripts we write and the project work we do, they will be available in this folder called Postman Collections. And sometimes participants will also expect or they ask me for some interview questions and answers. What should I write in the resume? So I have written some sample resumes here, and what you can write in your resume for API test engineer responsibilities, some interview questions and answers, and some multiple choice questions, and some subjective questionnaires also I have given here. Overall, this is how my training material looks like. It will be on a Google Drive, and this folder will be given access to all the participants who have enrolled in our course. Now coming to the course takeaways, right? Like what is that I am promising to all the participants in this course? Let me take 5 minutes of time to help you understand. So by the end of this course, all of you will become a thorough API automation testing professional, and you will gain complete understanding about what are REST APIs and what are SOAP APIs, and how to understand the API documentation, and how to test these REST APIs using Postman, how to write automation scripts using Postman tool. So that's one takeaway that you are going to have. And we will also learn the different API testing techniques to apply while doing automation testing of API. In manual testing, we have so many testing techniques like regression testing, retesting, smoke testing, sanity testing, ad hoc testing, exploratory testing, functional testing, right? Similarly, in API automation also, we have so many testing techniques, which you will see somewhere at the bottom in my chapter 3. So that is another key takeaway that you are going to learn in this course. I will also give you one API test plan document and API test cases document, which is a reusable document for test cases preparation and test plan preparation. That's another takeaway of this course. And this course is not going to tell you only manual testing of APIs. I'm also teaching automation testing of APIs using Postman tool, where we are going to write some Java scripts. And finally, I'm going to integrate our Postman automation with another framework called as Newman tool framework that you see on my screen right now. I'm highlighting it. So once we integrate Postman tool automation framework with Newman tool framework, you can generate some test reports in the form of HTML or XML or a JSON report. And you can also integrate them with Jenkins tool, which is a CI/CD tool. So this is what you guys are going to learn in this course. And coming to the salient features, like I said, every day class is getting recorded, and all the participants will receive the recorded session immediately the next day or probably on that day. And this video access will be for lifetime. and you'll also receive a course completion certificate from our team, Isha team. And one more thing is, I will be sharing the notes to you via Google Drive, and it will also be available lifetime. You can download my notes and keep it in your personal Google Drives as well. Okay, so that's about some salient features. And who can enroll in this course, right? So ideally speaking, all those people who come from testing background or who has some little idea about software testing process can definitely enroll in this course. There is no prerequisite that you should learn javascripts and join the course, or you should come prepared with selenium, or you should come prepared with java. No such prerequisites are there. The only basic prerequisite is if you understand the regular manual testing subject to some extent, that should be more than sufficient and enough to enroll in this course. So let me take a small pause here. Do you guys have any questions until this point? Am I clear to everyone? Am I clear, guys? One of you can please unmute and acknowledge kindly.
Yes.
Yes, Kiran. Yep.
Yes, Kiran.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And if you have any questions, you don't have to wait until the end of the demo. Feel free to stop me, interrupt me at any point of time and put forward your question. Because answering your questions in today's class is more important than me explaining what I teach. So I repeat, you can ask questions if you have any. Until then, I'll just quickly show you what is that I'm teaching. So directly, I'm not going to write something on a document or a PPT and then say, okay, the training starts. Today's class is to make it clear what we teach and how you will benefit it, right? So that you can take a conscious decision whether to enroll in this course or you are looking for something else, right? So we can have that kind of discussion as well. So coming to the course syllabus, like I said, I have divided this entire course into 13 chapters. By the end of 13th chapter, I promise all of you will become an expert in automation testing of APIs using Postman tool. And the precondition and the condition is you are also practicing it after the class is completed. So if you're not practicing and you're just listening to me, it will take some additional time for you to become an expert. But if you're practicing it immediately after the class is done, I promise and I assure you, all of you will become a good, perfect automation tester in APIs. So coming to chapter 1, this is where I'm going to introduce you guys to the world of API. And also we will talk about client and server architecture model and three-tier architecture model. So here I will explain what is an API, why is the industry using APIs, and what are those examples that I can take, in the internet where APIs are being used, and what is the data description format we use in APIs to transfer the data from one module to another module. Like this is where I talk about JSON, I talk about XML, I talk about HTML, I talk about text format, and I will also talk about client and server architecture. I am sure you are aware of what is a client and what is a server, but we are going to talk something else in the client and server architecture, which will amuse you, and you will be like surprised. So many things are playing when a client and server are talking to each other, and that information is 100% important for doing API testing. So without knowing the detailed client and server architecture, no test engineer can do automation testing APIs. So I'm going to spend at least one class, meaning 1 hour, to help you understand the client and server architecture. In this process, I'll be talking about the different HTTP methods such as get method, post method, put, patch, delete methods. I'll also talk about response codes, response messages, request headers, response headers. I will talk about protocols such as HTTP protocol, HTTPS protocol. After that, I will also talk about the three-layer architecture of a software enterprise application, which means in any organization, when a project is getting developed, the fundamental rule is three-layer architecture for any developer. So what is that, a blueprint the developer will have in his mind or in her mind to develop an enterprise application using three-layer architecture, where we will have three major components involved: front-end system, back-end system, and the server-side system. So we'll talk about what is this front end, how does it look like, what is this back end, how does it look like, what is this server and database, how does it look like, where are the APIs getting developed. So that information you will get in chapter 1. So chapter 1 will make you a very thorough professional from a theoretical understanding how the softwares are getting developed, where are APIs present, and how should you visualize it. Okay, chapter 1 is a theoretical chapter, guys, and I'm sure 90% of the topics I'm teaching will be new topics for you. You might assume you know it, but when I teach, you will say that, yeah, I don't know this, I don't know this, this is probably a new topic. So that's how chapter 1 will be interesting to you. Then in chapter 2, we will come little closer towards the world of APIs. So here I'll be talking about the evolution of APIs, like how many types of APIs are available from the last 20 years, which technology is outdated, which technology is still available today. So that introduction I'm going to give you, where I'll be talking about SOAP APIs and GraphQL APIs. Okay, guys, am I audible for everyone?
Yes, Kiran.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
So you
Because
are
on the chat,
explaining.
I got a message from Shantala
Yes,
that I'm not audible. But is it audible for everyone?
Yes, yes, yes.
yes,
Yes.
Okay, let me just post a message to them on the WhatsApp. Guys, please check your earphones.
So Kiran, so you are
Yes.
explaining this GraphQL also, right?
Yes, we will take one example. I mean, we may not be going very depth about GraphQL, but I will be taking one SpaceX Mars related APIs of GraphQL, and I will be showing you how to automate them, how to test them using Postman.
Okay. And one more thing, mock APIs.
Mock APIs also, if you're interested, I can show it in Postman. We can do it. I mean, I know how
Yeah.
to do mock APIs development. Usually, it is a feature used by developers, but I can show it to you.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you, Kiran. Yeah.
My screen share is visible to everyone.
Yes, Kiran. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yes, please. What is the question?
May I
Okay,
know
fine.
like what kind of screen you are sharing? I'm seeing lighter.
I'm sharing the website. Let me know.
Oh,
My
okay.
Chrome browser
Yes.
should be
Yeah, yeah.
available.
Okay. This one is clear. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in
One quick
chapter
question,
two,
Kiran. Yeah,
yes.
one quick question. Uh, right now I'm using Postman for my API testing, but there is a plan to move to Azure API. So I'm not sure whatever we have developed through Postman, can it be migrated to Azure API by any chance? Do you know?
No, I haven't worked on Azure APIs.
Okay. Okay. No
Not
issues. Yeah.
sure. But most likely there will be the integration available to migrate from Postman to any other tool in the market.
Okay.
Because I have done that with the Jmeter and Postman, then Postman and Catalan, Postman and SOAP UI tool. So when I use Postman with other tools, the other tools allowed Postman to be integrated because Postman is so famous. So the other tools are allowing Postman to be integrated. Same with the case even with Azure also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
cool.
one more, Kiran. Uh,
Mm,
for example, if you request the post, right? So the post request will go to the data into stored in database, and
correct.
we will get the data from database, and we need to
Mm,
validate that data.
mm,
So we'll
correct.
cover that one.
Yes, yes, it will be covered. That's one of the basic things that I'm going to cover. So every
Okay.
whatever response you get from server, right? For post
Mm.
method, get method, put, patch, delete, we will be validating it. We'll be writing JavaScripts to assert everything.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in fact, my trainings are all designed based on my real-time experiences. So it's not that I only train. I also do hands-on automation testing even today. Like even before joining this call, I was doing some automation for a project for one of my customer using Postman tool. So whatever experiences and learnings I am seeing in my projects, I will all try to bring them into the training also, so that the training will be kind of real-time training. So it is not going to be a bookish training. 99% of the training I'm doing will be real time only. All real challenges I faced in the life, in my projects, how I solved it, I'm converting them into my training experiences so that you gain better knowledge.
Actually,
Okay.
currently I'm doing like banking project actually. No, there are
Mhm.
so many APIs backend actually. I'm facing so many issues. So that's why I'm asking these questions actually. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Don't worry. See, I also have a banking example. So example, if you want, I can quickly show it to you. So this is something which I, you know, take it in the, you know, solving. So this is a banking application which is in Swagger format. So we have two APIs in login module. We have four APIs in account, one API in transfer, two APIs in feedback, two APIs in admin, one API in logout. So I take this example as well. To in few batches, I take this example, and in few batches, I take this example. All of them are realistic examples only. None of them are dummy data. So here we have four APIs in curl format. So like this, based on the participants' need, I change the examples batch to batch. Yeah, I'm coming back to chapter 2. So in chapter 2, I will be explaining about the different types of APIs that have come over the period of time, such as RPC APIs, which stands for remote procedure calls. Then SOAP APIs have come into picture, REST APIs have come into picture. Now we are talking about GraphQL APIs also. So so I'm going to take different examples for different types of APIs in the course. So I'm going to take one project for SOAP APIs and explain the automation. I'm going to take one or two projects for REST APIs and solve it for you. I'm going to take one small project for GraphQL APIs and then show it to you in the chapter 2. Okay. And in chapter 2, I'll also talk about the public APIs, private APIs, authorized or unsecured APIs, and we will also look at the syntax of an API, which means when the API is developed by the development team and shared with the QA team, how do they look like? What are the components of an API? Like what is the structure of an API or what is the syntax of an API? That understanding we will get in chapter 2. And I will also walk through few live examples on the public internet on the browser and show you that, hey, these are few REST APIs, these are few SOAP APIs, these are few GraphQL APIs. That information I'm going to show in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is also theoretical chapter, but as I said, everything will be a new learning to you and you will never feel bored in chapter 2 or chapter 1. Chapter 3 is where we will come very, very closer to the world of API testing, where I will talk about different API testing techniques. So here I have listed in my course what testing techniques I'm going to teach. So I'm just going to read them now. I'm not going to define them or explain them in this class. So I will talk about response code testing, response body testing, response time testing, response headers testing, interoperability testing, writing JavaScripts, data driven automation testing, performance testing, continuous automation testing, API chaining testing, Newman tool framework testing, and few negative testing techniques like methods tampering, endpoint tampering, payload tampering, query parameters tampering. And I will share a reusable API test plan document and also API test cases after explaining chapter 3. Those two documents will be reading material for you or a reference material for you, which you can use in your projects to prepare a better test plan document in your office template also. So by the end of chapter 3, all of you will be having thorough understanding of what are APIs, what are the types of APIs, how does the API syntax looks, what are the test techniques you have to apply for API automation testing. So from chapter 4 onwards, it is going to be practical training until the last chapter 13. That's why I wrote here hands-on experience, meaning I'm going to do it practically on my screen by sharing my Postman tool, and whatever I do, you will observe it and you will practice it after the class is completed. Obviously not in the class because we have only 1 hour to talk about the training. So in chapter 4, we will talk about the Postman tool installation process, then the sign up process associated with Postman tool. Then we will sign in into the Postman tool, and I will give you a walkthrough of the graphical user interface of the Postman tool, so that you will feel little comfortable understanding the tool. In chapter 5, we'll talk about the Postman hierarchy, meaning if you are doing automation in Postman, what hierarchy you have to follow, like what is the framework and what are the steps. In that process, I will also talk about workspaces concept in Postman. So a workspace is nothing but a project repository. So we can create different types of workspaces in Postman, meaning I can create different types of projects in Postman. I can create a public workspace or a public project or a team workspace or a personal workspace. So I will show you how to create them, how to delete them, how to invite your team members, or how to leave the workspaces. Okay, so you are going to see the entire life cycle management of workspaces. So chapter 5 is the starting step of automation. Very small step but important mandatory step. Now chapter 6 is where I am going to take REST APIs, project 1, and show you the automation of REST APIs. Now when I say automation, I have written a lot of points here. So here I will be teaching you how to understand the documentation from Swagger format or curl format or any other format. We will be creating some smoke test cases and regression test cases. I will be taking APIs that use get method, post method, put patch method. I will be taking the APIs which are using the authorization token for login process. Then we are going to validate all the response code, response body, response time, etc. And continuation of chapter 6 is chapter 7, where we will keep all our APIs in a concept called collections in Postman. Think of collections as a template or as a container or a folder like structure inside which our API request will be present. So collections are very important for us to generate any test reports or to work with Newman tool framework or to integrate with Jenkins tool in the future or to integrate with Azure or AWS. You need Postman collections. So I'll talk about what is this Postman collections, how to create, how to delete, how to share, how to build it. All those things will be part of chapter 7. Chapter 8 is where my automation testing goes to the next level. Here I will be teaching you data driven automation testing by supplying the test data using functions in Postman, or I will do automation testing, I mean data driven automation testing by writing the test data in a CSV file or a JSON file. We will also do browser compatibility testing, also called as interoperability testing. Everything is through automation, guys. None of them are through manual process. I will also teach you how to do performance testing of your APIs. I will also tell you and teach you how to schedule your executions to happen on a future date, even if you are closing your Postman tool. Something like, let's say tomorrow I am on a vacation, but tomorrow my test report should be sent to developer, so some execution should happen. So I can automate the process of test execution also, even if I'm on a vacation. So how to achieve that continuous testing, I'll show you. And we will write different assertions, meaning conditional checks using Postman JavaScripts. So I'm going to write so many assertions as per what I'm highlighting. And we will also do very important test called as API chaining. API chaining is a process where you supply the output of one API as a request to another dependent API. One of the important concepts in API automation. Without API chaining, no automation is successfully 100% completed. So this is a mandatory thing we are going to discuss. Then in chapter 9, I'm going to teach you import feature in Postman, which is going to give you a realistic understanding of how to work with multiple projects in multiple organizations with multiple developers. Because in each organization, the documentation format changes, the developer way of approach or the development approach of development changes. So how can you still survive in the IT market when you are working with different organizations or different projects or different developers? What if developer gives you documentation? What if he does not give you documentation? So all those questions will be answered practically in chapter 9. So chapter 9 is my real experience, challenges I faced and how I solved it. That is what I'm going to show you in chapter 9. And chapter 10 is continuation of chapter 9. In chapter 11, we will talk about the concept of Postman variables. So every automation tool uses the concepts of variables. Postman is also no exception. So in Postman, I will teach you the different types of variables, such as collection variables, private variables or local variables, global variables, environment variables. So we can create these variables by writing JavaScripts or without writing JavaScripts. So we will spend one class only to understand the concept of variables. Then in chapter 12, I am introducing the new tool called Newman, which is a framework given by Postman, Once you integrate Postman with Newman, you can generate HTML test report, you can generate a JSON test report or an XML test report or a CLI test report. And in the future, you can integrate with AWS, Azure or Jenkins also using Newman. So a lot of commands are there to learn in Newman. We have to install this framework also. All those things will be part of chapter 12. And in chapter 13, it is focused completely on how to troubleshoot the failures in Postman, how to debug your failures in Postman, and what are the common settings you have in Postman that might help you in the automation process. That is what chapter 13 focuses completely. Okay. And whatever I'm teaching, right, like whatever is the course curriculum, we have it on our website. So I'll give this URL to you guys on the chat. I'll put it on the chat window. You guys can see it. And whatever feedback I have received from my previous students, you can also see here what do they say about me. So this is their genuine feedback. It's not something that we have cooked it up. Whatever my previous students have written, that's what we have kept here. You can also refer it over there. And this is about what I teach to you guys. Like I said, 95% of the course is practical training, 5% being the theoretical training. And looks like there are some messages on the chat. So let me take these questions first. So Priyanka says, are we using any tool for this course? The answer is yes, Priyanka, we are using Postman tool for this course. Second question is, I'm a manual tester, no idea about API testing. Can I still go for this course? Priyanka, trust me, the answer is yes, you can definitely enroll in this course. If you have understood my language now, the same language is what I use throughout my training program. And I'm sure you can easily pick up API testing because you have the prerequisite manual tester knowledge. So Raji also says similar question. So the answer is same, Raji. You can also learn API testing if you are coming from manual testing background. Trust me, you can do that. So Priyanka says, is there any doubt session after the classes? The answer is no, Priyanka, no classes after the class. If you have a question, you have to ask within the class only. So every day when I start the class, the first few minutes are dedicated for questions only. And before I close the class, maybe last 5 minutes is dedicated for questions and answers. So utilize every day class for your questions and get answers from me. There is no separate class for Q&A. Same class will be used for questions and answers, and whatever I have to teach on that day with the time left, I will be teaching it. Okay. That's
Kiran, for example, I have a doubt for the last session, like last class. Then I can ask in the next session, right?
yes. So asking questions is your right, it is your responsibility, and answering them is also my responsibility. So if you are not asking questions, it is your problem. If you are asking questions, you are becoming a successful person in the training process. So please ask questions. I encourage the students to ask questions.
And consider, Kiran, after this course, if still we have some doubt in our daily project or something, we some query we have, then can we ask to you?
Yes, see, I'm already there on the WhatsApp group, so you will have my WhatsApp number. You guys can reach out to me anytime on WhatsApp. Even after the course is completed, you can reach out. During the course also, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Put your question in a way that I understand, and you will definitely get a
Okay.
response from me.
Okay. And one more thing, for example, after the class, when you guys going to share the recording session with us, like just after the class or next day?
Since our class is happening in the night, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., the
Right.
recording conversion will take some time. So 99% the video will be given to you the next day only. The next day around 11 o'clock Indian timing, you will get it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Anil has said, are we using JUnit 5 or TestNG for assertions? So Anil, we are using JavaScripts. We are not using JUnit. We are not using TestNG because Postman does not support JUnit or TestNG. So we are using JavaScripts. Sharanya has a question. In the API chaining, there is encryption. Can we do encryption to pass as parameter in the request? Unless I see the API, Sharanya, I cannot comment on it. So in API chaining, we can pass the parameters. So that answer I can say yes. But regarding encryption, I'm not sure, because usually encryption happens when the request is submitted to server. So in our request, you will see de-encrypted or decrypted only, decrypted information only you will be seeing in your API request. Rahul Jain says, are there any good jobs in API testing?
Kiran, sorry,
Yes.
Kiran. Uh, so actually, I asked Jane for TestNG for this REST assured framework. So are you covering REST assured framework?
No, no. The tool we are using is Postman, not Rest Assured.
Okay, okay.
Okay, Rest Assured is a separate tool. Postman is a separate tool.
Yeah.
Using Postman, I am teaching REST APIs, SOAP APIs. Using Rest Assured also, you can learn REST APIs and SOAP APIs, but in Rest Assured, you need to write Java coding. So without coding, we
Yeah.
cannot do Rest Assured. So Postman is like most of the automation will be configurations, and a few of the things will be your JavaScripts. So I'm not teaching Rest Assured guys in this course. It's only through Postman tool only.
Oh, okay, okay, Kiran. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rahul says, any good jobs in API testing? So Rahul, my answer is yes. That's what my experience is teaching, is conveying to me. There are so many jobs in India, so many jobs across all the cities here, where a lot of organizations are looking for API automation professionals. And in fact, API automation skill is a default skill these days. It is no longer a additional advantage. It is a mandatory skill the industry is expecting the testers to come with. Okay, just like manual testing, API testing is also a default. And Vibha says, do we have sessions on weekends? Vibha, no, it's only Monday to Friday, Indian timings. Okay, Monday to Fridays only we have classes. No classes on Saturdays and Sundays. You can practice on those days or enjoy your family time. Naushad says, are we following framework structure like Cucumber, BDD, TestNG? So Naushad, the answer is we don't have Cucumber framework in Postman. We don't have TestNG framework in Postman. We have only two frameworks, JavaScript framework and a Newman framework. And I'm using those two things in Postman too. So Raji, I think I have answered your question. Uh, if you are restarting your career in software testing, API testing is always good to start. Sudarshan says, what is the language we are using for API automation? So the answer is JavaScript, Sudarshan. Bhagyashri says, I have a career gap of 5 years. So if I go for software testing role, what all things I should learn? So Bhagyashri, basic thing is manual testing is mandatory for you to even start thinking of giving an interview. So learn manual testing somewhere online or maybe through a course like this, followed by API automation testing, or do the courses together, manual testing and API automation testing. So that should be good enough. Don't immediately start with Selenium automation testing because that will confuse you. First to learn manual testing. Parallel to manual testing, you can learn API testing if you are comfortable and confident. Else, after completing manual testing, then you learn API automation testing. Okay, Mahantesh says, are you discussing topics with respect to dev or testing? So this is purely testing only, Mahantesh. API automation testing. I'm a test engineer and I'm teaching how to test APIs using Postman tool. Bhagyashri says, I know manual testing, Selenium WebDriver with Java. Other than this, what kind of testing I should learn? So if you know manual testing and Selenium automation, obviously the next choice is API testing only, which is what I'm starting in this batch. So Bhagyashri, this could be a right forum and a right platform for you to learn a third skill, which is API automation testing. And the next question is, are we creating JavaScripts? The answer is yes, we are creating. Sumega says, we would get any help from your end in terms to get a job. The answer is no, Sumega. I cannot comment on providing a job. I'm not involved into that. I do have experience, but not hands-on automation. Okay, fine. But this course is going to make you expert in hands-on automation. Okay, by the end of the course, I can give you confidence about API automation testing using Postman tool. Nothing assured from a job perspective, guys, because that's a fluctuating market in India or outside India right now. So no is the answer to your question, Sumega.
Yeah, so hi Kiran. Actually, not specifically like a job kind of thing, but any relevant ideas like how to approach in LinkedIn and the opportunities, the firms and all about. I was asking about in those terms actually.
Yeah, see, those things definitely you will get support not only from me, even from Isha team also, we will support you. Example, you will say, hey Kiran, tomorrow I have an interview. Can you help me with some questions and answers? Yes, you immediately get support from me. And let's say you say, Kiran, yesterday I gave an interview, they asked me this question, I don't know how to answer. You will get an answer for such kind of things. And let's say you say, Kiran, I prepared a resume. Can you help me in making it a little better? Yes, I can help you like that. So job assistance, yes, I definitely do it for every student in any course I do, because that's the minimum help I have to provide as a senior in the industry. But guaranteeing a job is something which I don't do, because that's a false promise, right? I don't want to give false promises. Job assistance, the answer is yes to you. Okay, to
Okay,
you,
okay,
to
thank
everyone,
you.
I'll do that. Yeah.
That would be
And
helpful
guys,
for us. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, sure, no problem. Guys, I have a request for everyone. Please put your WhatsApp numbers on the group chats on the WhatsApp, or maybe your email addresses on the WhatsApp. So my team Isha will be sending you the course curriculum, and probably some material for the first two classes. So even if you don't enroll, you can refer my material, whatever you get from my team. So please post that hi message on WhatsApp, or your WhatsApp number on the WhatsApp group, or your email address. Okay, so that you get some basic material, basic information from me and from my team members. You can reuse it even if you don't enroll in the course from third class onwards. Okay, so I'm doing the continuation of this demonstration class even tomorrow. So tomorrow, no more theoretical topics like this. I'll be starting with chapter 1, and I will be explaining chapter 1, where I will introduce you to what is API, what is the data description formats, what is client and server architecture. So you will see the class is starting from tomorrow. Today is day 0 class. It's only introduction between you and me, and what you wanted to learn and what I teach. Tomorrow onwards, whatever I promised today, the training starts from tomorrow. So tomorrow is day 1 class. Most likely I will make tomorrow's class also available for all of you guys. So please join the class even tomorrow same time. And if you are happy with my language, with my flow, please enroll in the course to get the maximum benefit. Like I said, I'm not teaching bookish material. I'm teaching real experiences of API automation, so that you benefit in an interview process. And if you're already working for an organization, you benefit there also. Okay, there are a few more questions. I think I did not see them. Is prior knowledge on Java required? The answer is no. Don't worry about Java at all. Java we don't need. I will help you how to overcome that in the course. And Naushad says, how long does this course takes to complete? So Naushad, approximately 1 month, around 30 classes, few classes here and there. Mahante says, what about the notes? So I will share my Google Drive folder with all of you. Inside the Google Drive folder, you get detailed notes. And the notes is not like a regular PDF or a PPT. It's a Word document which I had written personally, along with the step-by-step screenshots, so that you can easily understand my notes. Safa says, I know manual testing. I have good knowledge in JavaScripts, but I don't know Java. Is it mandatory in automation? For this course, Safa, I think whatever you know, the JavaScripts and manual testing, that is more than sufficient. Okay, so you are all set for that. Okay, so I'm getting some email addresses on the chat. So rather, I'll put it on my notepad. And if you
Kiran,
have any questions, guys, please utilize that
yeah,
time.
Kiran, this is Shekhar. I have one quick question. So, in terms of the assertions, are you using the code snippets provided by Postman, or you are developing the code using the JavaScript? Because there
Both.
are some,
The
yeah,
answer is both. We will use the existing snippets. Wherever existing snippets are not available, I will be writing my own JavaScripts, meaning
okay,
regular JavaScripts. And that I have also prepared a note. I have prepared a document with the most commonly used JavaScripts. So I will also share that document with you guys so that you can reuse the JavaScripts. Okay, because whatever JavaScripts I use in my real-time projects, I can teach you the same JavaScripts, right? So I don't have to invent the wheel again, because already I'm doing R&D and printing it for my project, meaning I'm doing it for my project. I will pick those JavaScripts and I will reuse it in the training so that you see a real-time reference of it.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Kiran.
Any other questions, guys, that you have, that you wanted to know about about me or about the course, what benefit you get from the course? And every day it is 1 hour class, okay, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Since it is late night for me and for few of the folks, I may not be doing exactly until 10 o'clock. Sometimes I will wind up the class 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. Based on the topic I'm teaching, I might go until 10 o'clock, or I may teach 5 minutes. I mean, we might wind up the class 5 minutes early also. That's only in the interest of ensuring that I don't disturb your nights also. But because most of the participants said 9 p.m. works for them, 9 p.m. IST, I have to finalize this time slot.
Yeah, hi Kiran.
Hi.
Yeah, actually I wanted to know what is the duration for this course?
Duration will be close to 1 month.
1 month. Okay, fine.
Yeah, 1 month means you can assume 30 hours, I can say.
Okay, fine.
Every
Thank you.
day 1 hour, Monday to Friday, the classes will be there.
Okay, thank you.
So, any further questions from anyone? Okay, there is a message about the course fee. So the course fee is available on the website, nothing to hide. I guess it's around 7,000 Indian rupees. Yeah, 6,900 rupees. Okay, so that's all, guys, I have in this demonstration class. Okay, few more questions. Can we do API testing for mobile apps? Naushad, the answer is yes. We can do with Postman, and probably I can take an example during the training also. APIs won't be changing for mobile apps and for web applications. It will be the same. But the answer is yes to your question. Okay, I guess no more questions coming in from the participants. I appreciate everyone for joining this quick demonstration class. I hope most of you might have received answers for your questions. If you still have a question which is unanswered, please put it on the WhatsApp group. If you're already part of the WhatsApp group, me or my team will be definitely answering your questions. Otherwise, if you're joining my tomorrow's class, you can ask me the question even tomorrow, and I will take the question tomorrow. Okay. Okay, I'm getting few more email addresses. Thank you for that. Thank you, Shekhar. Okay, so Naushad says share your experience with other tools or technologies you have worked with. Okay, meaning I'll tell you the tools that I had worked with apart from what I'm teaching. So I'm writing it on my screen. I hope my screen share is visible. So I teach API automation with Postman tool, SOAP UI tool, Ready API tool. Then we have Catalan Studio tool. So this is for APIs. And if I have to talk about web automation, web applications, I do it with Catalan Studio tool. And if you're talking about performance testing, I have hands-on knowledge and I also train using tools like Jmeter, Gatling. And if you're talking about security testing, I also train using tools like Zap, Burp Suite, Nmap, Sneak, Wookie. Then I teach Git, GitHub, GitLab.
Sorry, but this not clear.
Sorry?
Not clear. This writing not clear.
Okay, not clear means it's not visible.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me put it in a bigger font size.
Okay, thank you.
Let me know if this is a little better.
Yes, now it's better. Thank you.
Yeah. So these are the other tools that I work with. So I also teach tools like Git, GitHub, GitLab, Jenkins, Bitbucket, Source Tree. So these are my skill set, I will say. And right now in this batch, I'm teaching this one. This is what I'm teaching in this course. But if you're interested in any other tools, you guys can also enroll in my courses. I'll be starting other batches for other tools and other subjects. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting few more email addresses. Let me copy them. So in the meanwhile, guys, any other questions that you have while I do copy paste of these email addresses? So Global says, do I have a YouTube channel? No, I don't have any channels. But my courses, I will put them on YouTube when you enroll in my course. So that's the only channel I have. That's only for the participants who are my students who enrolled. I don't have any public YouTube channels, guys.
I have one question. Would you be
Yes.
having a batch which teaches Ready API testing with
Yeah.
Ready API?
Yes, I teach Ready API. I teach Ready API, and yes, we can plan a batch as well for that.
Would it be in the immediate future, or is what I wanted to know, because I'm interested in learning that more than Postman tool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we can plan. I mean probably in the next 1 week or so I can plan to start. I mean I mean if I'm starting that Ready API, I will be seeing if there are any participants joining. Otherwise,
Mhm.
we can quickly get started.
Okay, thank you.
DR says, is Java knowledge mandatory? The answer is no, not mandatory. Java is not at all necessary if you ask me. Java scripts are necessary, but again, you don't have to come learning JavaScript, not necessary. Okay, I guess that's all we have for this day zero demonstration class. Hope everyone had some good interaction with me and you have your questions clarified from my side. I repeat again, you can join tomorrow's class, get your questions clarified further. But tomorrow the actual training starts, day one with chapter one starts. You can also put your questions on the WhatsApp group if you're already part of my WhatsApp group. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining this session. You have a good night. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.